Hello YouTube. Hello YouTube. My thing just fell. Fuck.
I sleep with the beasts. You woke me down in the streets. You pull my leash and there I come.
Okay, hello YouTube, welcome to a new video. I'm sorry it's taken a while for me to do this one.
2,000 years later.
I was doing a lot of administration stuff and it got really complicated, and I just wanted to get it out of my mind before I could start being creative again. And I know I said I was going to post a video per week, and I do intend to keep that, but I did have to take a break and finish everything that I had to do. So thank you for being patient, thank you for bearing through it, and I promise I'm going to be more consistent now, unless I have another administration tsunami coming at me. Hopefully I won't. So today, as you saw in the miniature, I'm going to be focusing this video mostly on training. The reason why I named the miniature bulky versus toned, it's because this is the conversation I've had and I've heard over and over again with my best friends. And I want to speak about it, I want to clarify it, and especially I want to give you a bit of an insight of what actually means to be bulky, what it actually means to be toned, and what the difference is, how to achieve what you want, whether that is bulky and have a massive bum, or it's to be toned and just have your muscles show up a bit, and whether or not the difference comes from your training, from how much you live, from doing cardio, or from doing weights. So before I go into a 3 hours rant about this, I'm going to be very clear. So first thing I want to talk about is what people think bulky means. So when I speak to my friends about bulky physiques, what they usually tell me is that bulky means someone who trains a lot, who especially does a lot of weight. So who hip thrusts a lot of weight, who squat tons of weight. Basically people that actually are in the gym lifting, and they lift so much that their muscles, their legs, their general physique looks big, looks strong, looks curvy. So according to the conversations I've had around me, what bulky means is someone who lifts a lot of weight. Now, what bulky actually means is someone that has a muscular base and also has a rather high body fat percentage on top of that muscular base. That's what makes someone look like this. Now, when I speak with my friends about being toned, the definition I've gathered out of speaking with a lot of people has been being toned is someone who doesn't do a lot of weight, who is rather athletic, who trains, who runs, who does a lot of high intensity trainings, and who definitely stays far from the heavyweights, because they wouldn't be toned, they would be massive. If they're toned, if you can see their definition and everything, is the right amount of weight, which is a small one, or no weight at all, and they just run and they engage in other athletic endeavors that have nothing to do with building a lot of muscle, and that's why they look toned. And what toned actually means is someone that has a muscular base, and on top of that muscular base, they have a body that has a lower body fat percentage. That means the amount of body fat that they have stored on top of their muscles is quite small, and that's why the skin is tight to the muscle. When the skin is tighter to the muscle, you're going to be able to see the muscle. That's when you're actually going to be able to see the definition, when you're actually going to be able to see the shapes, where you're going to be able to see all those details that make someone look toned. So the first thing I want to tell you in relationship to this subject is that building muscle is really hard. And I'm not trying to discourage you, I'm just trying to explain you that you can't go to the gym from one day to another and all of a sudden start building muscle like someone's blowing air on top of you, and you're just gonna... It doesn't happen, and I wish it did, and probably half of the world's population, men and some women, wish that was the case, because it would take us much less effort, much less training, much less hours, much less everything to actually get your body to hypertrophy and to build some muscle. The truth is that it's a very slow process. It takes a very long time. And I'm not telling you this because I saw it in research or because someone said so. I'm telling you this out of my own experience. It's been over 3.5 years that I do weightlifting, at least 6 times a week. There has been some periods where I've had to do less, but pretty much every other week I've done 6 times a week. And the struggle I've had to build any decent amount of muscle has been insane. It took so damn long to be able to see any type of result in my body whatsoever, especially because when I started training I was not eating well, but that's another story. And I'm telling you, I was not restricting myself when it comes to weight. I was doing everything I could. I was trying to break PRs every single time, with hip thrusts, with squats, with everything I was doing. I even achieved 135 kilos in hip thrusts for 12 reps, which was a big time PR for me. And I still look like I don't lift. A lot of people would wonder if it's the first time I come to the gym or if I run all the time. Truth is that building muscle takes time, takes a lot of effort, and it's not gonna happen from one day to the other. So you're not gonna start training and the next day wake up with a body you don't like because it's too big, too muscular. That does not happen. It takes so long. I am next to people that have trained for over 10 years and they still struggle to create muscle. Like, it's really hard if you don't have the help of performance enhancing drugs. In that case, it's much easier. It will happen like this. But I'm guessing I'm speaking to people that don't necessarily want to take steroids. So I am promising you, you are not gonna wake up with muscle tomorrow. So these people that you consider too muscular or too bulky, like this person or like this person, usually are training with very specific goals because they're doing bodybuilding competition or because they actually want to be massive. And most of the times, all these people and competitors use performance enhancing drugs. Truth is that if you actually want to get toned, building a muscular base is essential. You cannot get toned without a muscular base, because if you have a very low fat percentage and no muscle, it's gonna stick to your bones, so you're gonna see no definition. And it also ends up being what people call skinny fat. When you don't have muscle, fat stucks in awkward places, it looks weird, it does not look toned. If you want to get toned, weightlifting, it's an amazing way to do it. It's because the more muscle you have in your body, the more calories it will burn. Basically, your metabolic rate is going to be higher when you have more muscle in your body. Why? Because muscle requires much more energy to move. Muscle asks your body for more effort than fat does. When this happens, that means that you're burning more calories even when you're not training, just by having a muscular physique, which means that you can be in a calorie deficit. You can eat more food that you could be eating if you had no muscles and still be in a lean body fat percentage because your body is burning it. What you need to know is that if you want to be toned, it all comes to having a muscular base and especially having a low body fat percentage. And the sad truth is that having a low body fat percentage comes only to your food choices. If you want to lose body fat, the only way you can do that is being in a calorie deficit. What's a calorie deficit? It's simply consuming less calories than the ones you use. That's it. So that's it. It's quite simple. I know it's hard to digest. I know you've been fed with so much information that simplifying it like this seems rather wrong. But there is tons of research that supports it. I'm going to link some of the research here. And I just want to clarify that I am not demonizing cardio or other activities or other sports. Moving is much better than not moving at all in any way you can do it. But I'm telling you, and I'm advising you to give a look to weightlifting, because it's a really good way to get to the results you want. And it's very highly underestimated because people have wrong ideas about what lifting ends up doing for your body. Do not demonize tennis, doing volleyball, doing swimming, doing other sports. It's amazing and it's always going to be good for you to move. But if you decide to only run, you are going to spend some calories. You're going to spend calories while you run. Problem about these type of activities is, first, you can't create a lot of muscle running. So the rest of the time, your metabolic rate is not going to be crazy high. It's proven by research that activities like running actually increase your hunger, which is going to make it much harder for you to be in a calorie deficit, because you're going to run for 1 hour and at the end you're going to be starving. You're going to be like, I need a pizza, I deserve a pizza, give me a pizza. And the problem is that sadly in 1 hour you don't burn enough calories to afford a pizza and still be in a caloric deficit. Whereas if you do 1 hour of weightlifting, your hunger cues are gonna be much lower. I'm not saying you need to eat very little food to be lean. You actually need to eat more food to be lean, bigger volume, less calories, but I'm gonna speak about that in my next video. Let me know in comments if you want me to speak about volume. I was actually thinking of showing you guys some examples of different foods, one with much higher volume and less calories than the other one. Show you that if you want to get lean, if you want to have a lower body fat percentage, you actually need to eat much more. But anyways, take it or leave it, that's my advice. In my experience, I tried running for a very long time. When I moved to Paris, I was doing 10 kilometers per day because I thought that would get me to the body I wanted, and it never did. And it always made me hungrier and I was not liking the way I looked. When I started lifting and when I started eating right, that's the first time I actually saw results that I wanted. And that's why I keep on speaking about weightlifting, because it really helps you achieve what you want. When I speak to my friends and they show me models, they show me certain body types that they would like to achieve, they don't understand that these girls have this body, but they also do weightlifting. They mainly do weightlifting, and if you see some of their definition, if you see some of their muscles, it's because they lift. And on top of that, they're lean, so they have a low body fat percentage because they eat well and because they also do a lot of activities that spend more calories. That's why I'm not demonizing cardio. I do cardio on top of my weightlifting because it helps me spend more calories. Because I'm speaking about training, because I'm speaking to you about lifting, I decided to give you here some of my favorite lower body exercises that are currently part of my training. And I just filmed them for you so you can have an idea. You might have some ideas of things that you can adapt in your own gym, in your home gym, because if there's something that COVID taught me is that you can train very hard at home. Let me know in comments if this inspired you, if this works for you. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And since you're in the comments already asking me questions, please don't hesitate to give this video a thumbs up and don't hesitate to subscribe. It really helps me a lot, and you'll be able to see my next video about volume. I'm a very quad dominant person, so it's not always easy for me to recruit my glutes. These exercises are the ones I'm using right now because they really make me feel good.
The big focus here is to think about driving your glutes down and thrusting into the bench to raise your body up, instead of thinking about getting as much height as you can in the exercise.
They're really my favorite right now because they have helped me achieve very good sensations when I'm training, because I feel like I'm recruiting the right things. Another underrated benefit of weightlifting is that it's such an amazing outlet for your energy. If you're someone who's hyperactive, who's always like anxious, weightlifting, it's a therapy. It's a therapy, and it's much cheaper than a psychologist. Doesn't mean you shouldn't get a psychologist. I should get one, but weightlifting helps. It helps you to feel strong. It's a very different sensation than running. I like running outside, but instead of feeling drained, when I lift, I feel empowered. I feel capable, because it's really good to feel how your body adapts to challenges. And a little reminder, enjoy training, whatever you do. If it's tennis, if it's volleyball, if it's running, if it's lifting, anything you do is better than not moving. So enjoy it. Enjoy being in a body who's able to move. It's a massive blessing that we take often for granted, and we shouldn't. Let me know if you want me to post more videos related to fitness and training. I would be happy to. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon with my next video.